this is a story of how I got into photography. Many people have asked, Jasper, what made you get into photography? Why do you love photography? And this is my story. It started with the passing of my late grandfather back in 2009. So when my grandfather passed away, he left behind my grandmother, my dad, and his 6 other siblings. You might say that this was a blessing in disguise, but this period of mourning also served as a family gathering at my grandparents' place. In order to remember my grandfather, there were boxes that were brought out from storage, and surprise, surprise, these boxes actually contained photo albums. And I remember being amazed by the number of albums that were being brought out from storage. I mean, I have practically lived with my grandparents for the first 10 years of my life and never knew that there was this stash of photo albums hidden in the cabinet that used to contain all my toys. There were photos that were very, very old and photos that were also very recent. And by old, I mean that there were photos that dated all the way back to the early 20th century, when my grandfather accompanied his dad as a little boy from China to Singapore in search for a better life. While I flipped through these photos, I realized that I was like watching a live documentary. From my grandparents' marriage, the childhood of my dad and his siblings, there were even pictures of me as I grew up. And this really got me thinking, when I die, will my life story be told? And will I even be remembered? Months later, I purchased my first camera and started taking pictures. That's how I started getting into photography, and the reason that I love photography is that each picture that I take speaks 1,000 words, and every picture is a piece of memory frozen in time. Since then, photography has played a very important part in my life. Taking photos, documenting moments that are happy, sad, or funny. And well, that's the end. That's how I got into photography. And that's the end of my story.